Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your full moon reading. Now, of course, right, the full moon is the highest peak of energy output, right? So the moon cycle being one of manifestation, we can kind of see the full moon being a point of clarity, a point of culmination, of fruition in some capacity that regards the intentions that we set. Now, the moon cycle can kind of be seen in two ways. One is macro and one is micro. So the micro moon cycle that occurs is monthly, right? Starting with the new moon at the very sort of tail end of the previous month or beginning of this month. For us, it was, for this month, it was, I believe, on the 26th or 27th of March. So nonetheless, right, the new moon leading to the full moon, both within about a month's range. So that's one micro cycle of manifestation. Okay. Then you have, though, the macro cycle of manifestation, which takes place in 6-month intervals. So, and the way we see that is, right, every new moon in a certain sign corresponds to a full moon in the same sign. And they're always going to be 6 months apart. So when you think of it in that way, right, you got to think back 6 months prior to now, what kind of intentions you were focusing intently on, right, setting into motion. As it was around that time, right, the new moon in Libra, that corresponds with this full moon in Libra. So whatever was kind of happening since 6 months prior to now, you may be seeing is coming to fruition in some capacity today. Okay, so let's see. Yes, it's a lovely time to take stock, right? To really assess, right? Take a step back and think, how am I exerting my fire energy? Right? Because the full moon is associated with the fire element. That being, right, tied to our creative reserves, our self-will, right? And so fire energy, just like any other element, has a conducive, positive manifestation and one that is maybe not so helpful, right? Fire being tied to anger, rage, but also to manifestation, right? The spark of life, creativity, inspiration, confidence, courage. So it's a beautiful time, right, to take note of how is this energy within myself coming out. And we all have fire, right? We all have fire, some of us more so than others, depending on the elements in your chart, your astrology chart. But regardless, right, we're all magicians at the end of the day. Right? And the Magician card reminds us of that it's that alchemical balance between all of the elements of our being in whatever propensity, right, we have them, right? It's that art of working with every sort of chemical, right, that comprises us to create further. So cycles of manifestation within cycles of manifestation. And again, right, it's taking stock, right, of that fire element that we're working with. How are we wielding that wand? And so I hope that this reading sheds some light on that for you guys, and we will begin. Hi there, Pisces. Happy full moon. Hope you guys are having a lovely one with moon dancing and the like. Let's see what is in store for you here. I feel like you're dancing on water. That's what I feel for you. You're dancing on water, Pisces. Okay. You're just like floating on set. That's kind of what I feel for you. You're just floating on set, but there's something about it that is, ooh, the sun. You're just waltzing in, okay? That's what I feel, in whatever capacity that may mean something to you. I feel that you're arriving, but you're like arriving as a butterfly. You're not like, here I am. It's like, just, you know, true to the Pisces nature as a fish. Okay. So let's see. I feel like you're taking quiet steps. Quiet steps. Okay, absolutely quiet steps. I'm going to pull a few more cards for you. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh my goodness, this is significant, Pisces. Big change happening for you this full moon. My, all right. First and foremost, as your theme, you have the reverse 10 of Swords. End of the cycle. You're like done unplugging from that, okay? Whatever that was, that did not speak to the light that I seek, the light that I am, right? The vibration of these two cards are so different. So, I think you realize, right? You're like, there's a transformation that I seek. There's a deep, deep inner transformation that I seek. And my contribution, okay, to this kind of way of thinking, way of handling, strategizing, rationalizing, is not conducive for me. Is limiting. And you have the Son of Wands right beneath this 10 of Swords, which is like breaking through the brush, like, ta-da, here I am, here's who I really am, right? Like, now that I'm done playing this game, I've resurfaced, okay? And so we're seeing this resurgence of fire energy. Like you're like, I seek the sun, I am going to be the sun, I'm going to create the light, I'm going to be the spark, right? That I feel I align with, the vibration that I align with. There's something about vibration that's big here for you. Okay, and now you came flying out with the Hanged Man in reverse, which has the Hanged Man standing straight up in its grave. Okay, and that's overlaying the Three of Swords in reverse. So this regards some sort of insistent thorn of a situation where you were just kind of letting matters, okay, take you by the wayside, right? Back and forth, this oscillation. Oh, like, maybe it'll change. Maybe the situation will change, right? That very Neptunian wonderland, right? Of like, yeah, I don't like the situation, but maybe, right? I just gotta swing back and forth and see where the wind takes me. But you're like, I feel now is the time where you're like, forget the wind, okay? By the way of my flight, I create wind, okay? So you're taking matters into your own hands, Pisces. That's what you're doing. You're waking up from, you're sobering up, so to speak, from whatever this situation, this matter is that previously, right, it's like rose-colored glasses sort of thing. Maybe it'll change. I'm gonna keep, right? I'm gonna stick it out. No, like you are like what awaits me is the light. What awaits me is clarity. Okay. So you then popped out with the reverse Eight of Pentacles, overlaying Judgment in reverse, overlaying the Five of Cups in reverse. You are so done with this, Pisces. Like, you're done, okay? You are checking out of that hotel motel. You're like, that bed was so creaky and uncomfortable, okay? Get me on the road, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, even if it's Mercury retrograde, okay, I'm migrating. And remember, guys, it is Mercury retrograde, so you may be feeling this. I'm a Pisces, okay, so I'm feeling it, but you're like, you know, it's Mercury retrograde, that's what I was gonna say, you know, and you may be feeling like this hankering desire to just goodbye world and transform into a new existence and make really groundbreaking decisions in your life where you change everything, right? Change everything. But you may not want, right, quite yet to do that, okay? And I feel like you're not going to, right, just get up and like, you know, book some sort of, well, hey, you never know with Pisces, but no, there's a waiting, okay, that you're like, okay, right? I am energetically awoken from that delusion, whatever that may be, okay. But in terms, right, of preparing the next stages and steps to this transformation, I am taking my time, okay, I'm taking my time, and I understand, right, that I'm somewhat interwoven within the fabric of a certain environment, a circumstance. That is emotionally unsatisfying for you, okay? But that, again, energetically, you are removing yourself from, okay? Energetically, you're like, I have clarity with where I've been and where I want to go, and how those two worlds collide, and how they drift apart, right? And at which point I need to uprise from that whole situation and take my flight. So, major transformation underway, but again, it's Mercury retrograde, Pisces, and it's Venus retrograde until the 15th of April. Mercury retrograde is going to be retrograde until about the 3rd of May. So, right, that sort of time frame, if you follow Mercury retrograde, but maybe a time of preparation, right, preparing fastidiously what this how you want to end the cycle, how you want to officially, right, make concrete, officialize the end to this cycle. All right. Now, you then pulled out the Ace of Wands and the Mother of Swords, both in reverse. Okay. Now, as I picked up these two cards, the Mother of Swords flipped over like a book, the chapter of a book, like close, okay, and flipped over, and what remains is the Ace of Wands. So you have a lot of fire that's budding out, a lot, again, right, the resurgence of fire, some sort of spark, okay, that is being lit. Independence, okay, independence, following your intuition, how you really feel about something. That is what comes, right, that resurfaces from the closeout of this old world, of this old way of thinking and believing. And so the Mother of Swords in reverse, okay. This could be your own propensity. Absolutely, I feel that for many of you, that this could be your own propensity. If you have especially a lot of air in your chart, okay, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. But this may also be an individual who is associated with this old cycle, okay. And I will say this, right? This may regard even the self-talk. So if there is someone in it, I will also say this. It may be a person, this could be two people that you're involved with, /in. What? You cannot be involved in a person. Well, I guess you could be involved in a person. It depends. Okay, you take it how you take it, Pisces, right? It could mean a lot of things here, but the point is, whatever this reality is that you're waking up to, whatever the situation, partnership, union, okay, is, this individual may be somehow associated with it. Okay, this could be a person that's involved with that situation, where you're like, where you're fixed, and where you've been fixed, and where maybe we've been fixed together in this stagnant way of rationalizing change. I'm hitching the road, okay, and I'm taking my own route, right? It's like, you have your GPS, you do things your way, right? We are just really different. We're really different, right? And it's sobering up to that reality, I feel, for a lot of you. If it is a matter of personality types, okay, that somehow are not fully aligned. All right. There's a new beginning on the brink. Now, if this is your own propensity, Pisces, I almost said Capricorn. If you know Capricorn, if you have a Capricorn rising, Ascendant, or Moon sign, you may want to check that video out as well. But Mother of Swords, this is the changing of ways. Okay, it's like you have to set down, right? Unplug from all the old ways of thinking and doing things that somewhat mastered this class, okay, this cycle that you are involved in, that held you bound in some capacity, okay, needs to be transmuted. So that, right, once you put this sword down, once you unplug from this sort of way of thinking, believing, acting, right, great dependence on intellectualization, okay, and rationalization of something that's otherwise spontaneous, dynamic, fire energy, right? Impulsive, honest, authentic, fast, moving. Air and fire are both fast, but the feeling I get with the Mother of Swords, here's specifically for you, is there's, it's like a pitchfork feeling, okay? Being somewhat, planted in the ground, right? But your dream is to create, your dream, right, is to create a light, to live in the light, okay? You want that dynamism, okay? You want to be that change. You want to live and embody that very free-flowing sort of energy, the energy of creation, right? So there's an uprooting that's taking place for you, Pisces, and I feel that it's like two-part, right? One is ideological, the way that you view the whole process of whatever it is that you want to create, and the other part is actually circumstantial, right? The environment that we're in, the partnerships that we are in, whatever that circumstance is, right? There's a desire to, and a realization that that there needs to be an uprooting, that there needs to be a change, okay, of events. And again, right, it's Mercury retrograde. You may want to wait until May 3rd or so before you finalize any sort of plan, okay? Because I'm feeling that this is a big change, that you are kind of hangering on, I'm ready for it, right? But take it in stride, take your time. I'm getting that as well. And truth and time tells all, Pisces, all right? I'm compelled to say that. So thank you so much again. Enjoy the full moon, Pisces, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.